Okay, so I'm back again on the subject of spying, and I'm going into my 19th, 20th year consecutively being spied on as an adult. For me, it started in the year 2000. Um, the thing that's difficult here, this is what I'm trying to get at, is that these people are committing a felony crime called radio invasion. Okay, it's a criminal offense that is punishable by up to sorry by up to 3 to 7 years in prison. The people who are doing this have made it their habit and their duty to spy on you instead of work or whatever. Honest, they could do anything. It's more honest than committing a felony crime, and they're doing it with the sole intention of getting money out of people, including you, especially if they're spying on you to get money out of you that they otherwise have no right to. I know because I gave in the past. I fell into their fraud ring, and I gave inherited money. I invested with them, stuff like that. The thing is that these people are deceitful. They want to convince you that they have the right according to their religion. Well, the thing is that, first of all, practically everyone knows that religion is based on myth and mythology. Therefore, it's untrue, it's not rational at all. A simple atheist can give you the reason that there's no proof or verity for a God. We don't know what happens after we die. We shouldn't feel anything because we're dead. But the thing is with these people is that they continue to do it even though they know that they're wrong. They do it out of habit. They're doing it to prey on you, to use others against you, uh, to do anything that their whim so desires, to express malicious intentions, to make you feel violated, to make you be afraid, to get you arrested, to put you in mental hospitals, to accuse you of things that they have no business knowing or otherwise knowing, to violate your personal space. See, this is the thing that I don't get. Okay, now I'm going to go through a list of all the things you can do to troubleshoot. Okay, but the bottom line is that it seems to come down to two things. Unless you have the ability to live without a television and a smartphone nowadays, it's like you can't stop it. But you know what? It's even worse than that, because they will continue to surround you at home without using your television or your smartphone. See, so it's like there isn't a way out of it. So I went through lists of things. The main thing is you want to catch the person that's at the center of the spying ring, because that's the person who doesn't want to let go. Catch them on a voice message or something so you can show what they really sound like, that they're trying to deceive people, especially namely you, in order to try and continue to get away with the crime. And it's real simple. The bottom line is that you have to make up your mind, and people who care about you and are not participating in a coercion and racketeering ring have to agree with you that that's the case. Otherwise, they're not your friends. They're not people who have good intentions for you or for your life. They're coercive, which is coercion is a crime, and it's and it also goes directly in line with racketeering. So in a civil court, that's a $10,000 punishable offense immediately. Anytime someone coerces you, tries to get you to do something otherwise that you wouldn't do, including to break the law. So now I've showed you how to catch the person using the voice messages. That's the key one, because you need to retain evidence in order to get them to stop, even if they don't want to stop, even if they don't want to hear themselves. But you need it to protect yourself. That's the bottom line. So you don't want to allow yourself to go without the proof, the continued proof that they're doing this and that they refuse to stop. You can disable the Alexa remote by taking the batteries out. The Xbox settings, you can turn off the microphone, your location, your account settings. You can put it on Do Not Disturb. Is it going to stop it? Well, this is the bottom line. At some point during your day, as these people continue to spy, you're going to need complete silence to hear them doing it. Otherwise, they're going to continue to try and aggravate you and agitate you more in order to try and manipulate you and make your life miserable. So it comes down to finally taking your television apart and disabling the speaker by removing the speaker wire. And then you can finally establish the fact that they don't have any power, because what they want to do is to use these like rights of affirmation to convince you that they're entitled to anything that you have, except they don't have that right, because it's not their stuff. They're not the ones in possession of it. If it was, they would have went out and bought it. They would have went out and got it for themselves. They wouldn't be sitting around like lazy a-holes spying on you, trying to make your life miserable and convince you that they're entitled to something that you own. Now, what you have, bottom line in this situation, is a hater. There's a malicious person somewhere in their life, they're comparing themselves to you, telling themselves that they have the right to do what they're doing, and they don't. You know, the old way was, if you had a spy, finally they get the two people together and let them go at it in a one-on-one, and that's the only way to settle it, or it continues. So if you choose to continue to use your device, you want to use your programming languages, you know, to get them to have to report themselves. You want to use your command line and your programmer languages, TR user, NCOM, etc. Also, if you choose to leave your stuff on, you're going to have to mute it and be silent at times during the day in order to catch these people. Now, also, you know that they continue to do it on YouTube. So anywhere you have a command line or a search line, you want to get your technical report user and your NCOM in. But as I was saying, you're going to have to keep your devices silent at some point during the day. Mute them, turn off the volume to listen to these people while they spy on you, to try and get a hold of what they're attempting to do or where they are. But as I said before, on YouTube, they're going to continue to dump in recorded audio. That's the other thing. By muting, you want to try and ascertain whether or not it's recorded audio or they're doing it currently. But when you press the mute button on your television, like I said before, on my television, the one that I shared with you before, it's like a proprietary spying implant. There's no other way to turn it off other than to unplug this, to disassemble the television, unplug the speaker wire, and put it back together with no speaker. Other people I ask say the same thing. Leave it on. You know, you can't stop the person when you're not using it. Leave it unplugged. That's also helpful. But this is the end of it. You know, it comes down to real life. These people don't want to stop. You know what's going to protect you? Ignoring them. Catching them while they're doing it. Keeping proof and evidence that they've done it before and that they're doing and that they continue to do it. And you want to make sure that they can't catch you in a precarious position, because they already are gathering information about every facet of your life to try and use that information against you. A spy's number one key favorite thing to do is to use your own thoughts or actions or information or knowledge against you before you can even articulate it or write it down or say it. They want to try and block you using your own thoughts and information and knowledge, etc., against you. Okay, when you're typing into your notepad and you hear people reading out what you're typing, you're rung by spies. I mean, you're literally surrounded by spies. Faith World Live is openly spying in my community on me and on others, and they have to stop, because there's no justification for what they're doing. They're doing it to be lazy, to get money that they're otherwise not entitled to. Don't ever claim to be a Christian and sit there and do that. Those aren't in the teachings of Jesus. Levitical law provided for the stoning of breaking of the second commandment. The stoning of spies. People who maliciously broke the second commandment, hung around, grouped around people in their homes, spied on them, attempted to murder them, used information against them about their own lives, things that they had no business being entitled to at all. So this has to stop. It has to stop with you being a radio invader. You have to admit that you're committing a crime, a felony offense that's punishable by 3 to 7 years in prison. Aside from having on your criminal record that you're a felon and you've been convicted of that. Okay? Now, if this is something that you made your lifestyle or whatever, you have to admit that you have a problem. But the best way to do it is just like any other problem. Cold turkey. Don't claim that you realize you have a problem or you're going to change if it continues. You need to be caught doing it so you can be shown. Christianity says that if you sin, to repent. Now, Christian biblical ethics and all that stuff, I mean, they're a little supposed to be more stringent than criminal law. Okay, but you cannot be a criminal who radio invades or be a spy and still be Christian. I'm letting you know that now. You're a criminal if you do that. The other problem is with the ringing. Is the peer pressure that, you know, like anything else where someone breaks the law, there's a group of people doing it, they don't want to stop, they just continue to do it. They try to peer pressure others so that they'll just agree to it or just, you know, pretend or so that they can think that it's going to go unnoticed. It's not. It's impossible to deny that people are spying on you when they're radio invading you 24 hours per calendar date. And this is what's going on. Okay? You're a criminal group. If you had any Christianity in you at all, okay? First of all, you'd say, I'm way over the line more than being a Christian. I'm breaking the law. You would say to yourself that you're being a felon. And yes, you need to repent. The whole Christianity discussion about being born again is nothing, because if you're a criminal fraud who's doing this to try and get money from people who otherwise have nothing to do with you, you need to repent. Okay? So I'm done talking about this. Stop spying on me. Stop doing it. You do not have my consent or agreement to do it. And that is final. So for everyone else, I hope that something in this discussion has been beneficial to you. But like I said, it's going to come down to the same thing every day. You need a little silent time to catch them while they're spying. You need to make sure that there isn't an area in your life that they can take advantage of, like not having money. So then they can just send someone to arrest you. Thinking that the spying is going unnoticed. But you need the proof that they're doing it, so you want to get them on a voice message, because other people are just as aggravated and fed up with this problem. Probably even more than you, which is why it's dangerous. So in closing, everyone else knows that spying has to do, spying, it has to do wars. There are no wars. Any of these crazy claims they're making on television, they don't involve you. Okay? Claiming people died and all that stuff, there's no need for that, because the average person, it does not affect them. They don't need to hear stuff like that so that someone else can spy and then begin to peer pressure them into this little ring where they get taken advantage of. So anyone else, this is what I want to say in finality, man. Big ups to Arnold Schwarzenegger for standing up for this whole fake discussion that they made about Russia and all this stuff. It comes down to the spying. Don't ever be afraid to stand up to a spy. It's un-American, and they have no right to do it. 1.